When Eyes Wide Shut was released in 1999, the film was very provocative for a few reasons. The movie would serve as the final film from acclaimed director Stanley Kubrick, who died of a heart attack at the age of 70 just 6 days after he turned in his final cut to Warner Brothers. The project was also shrouded in a bit of mystery, but what was known was that it would feature then-married power couple, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman, playing characters whose marriage was in some kind of turmoil. It also sold a glimpse of eroticism that was uncommon at the time for both performers. The film ultimately became the highest-grossing film of Kubrick's career when taking into account its worldwide gross, but was met with a polarizing response from casual moviegoers. In the years since its release, Eyes Wide Shut has been re-evaluated as one of the director's best, and now Kidman is looking back at the film 25 years after its release. During a chat with the Los Angeles Times, Kidman shared her memories of making Eyes Wide Shut, which went from an estimated 6-month shoot to nearly 2 years for both her and Cruise. The film holds the Guinness World Record for the longest continuous film shoot at 400 days, although the actress admits that she would have stayed on the project even longer. Since Kidman and Cruise were married during the time of filming, it's easy to assume that Kubrick would look into their marriage to form the characters of Dr. William Bill Harford and Alice Harford, and the actress admits that could have been the case when she was asked if the director was mining their marriage during filming. "I suppose he was mining it. There were ideas he was interested in. He'd ask a lot of questions. But he had a strong sense of the story he was telling. I do remember him saying, 'Triangles are hard. You have to tread carefully when it's a triangle. Because one person could feel ganged up on. But he was aware of that and knew how to manage us.'" In the film, Cruise and Kidman play a couple that deals with jealousy and lust over the course of a couple of days. After a night of smoking too much weed, Kidman's Alice admits that she nearly had an affair with a naval officer the year before and considered leaving the life she had with her husband and their daughter, Helena Madison Egginton. The revelation shocks Bill and sends him on an odyssey of sorts that involves several potential sexual encounters and a fateful night at a masked orgy attended by an elite secret society. The scene where Kidman admits her desire to cheat is a pivotal moment of the film which propels the main narrative forward, and the actress admits it was a scene they worked tirelessly on. "It was the scene with Tom and I, where I start by smoking the spliff in bed and where I laugh and deliver the long monologue. That took many weeks. A lot of that was rehearsing in the bedroom and then him not liking what we'd done. So we ended up reworking it, constructing it as we went along. There was no need to rush. Stanley would never go over budget. What he bought was time." Kidman admitted that the scene took shape with a lot of communication between Kubrick, herself, and Cruise as the trio became more comfortable with each other. As far as how she was treated compared to her male co-star, it appears Kidman was respected, as she says Kubrick liked women, but she does admit that the director had a different relationship with each of them. Kidman said, "But there's something about being a woman in that equation, too. And Stanley liked women. He had a different relationship with Tom. They worked more closely together on his character." Kidman says Kubrick was very happy with Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut was released to mostly positive reviews from critics, registering a 76% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience response was more polarizing. The film earned a D-cinema score from opening day audiences, indicating that moviegoers didn't necessarily feel like they got the movie that the marketing was selling. Relative to its $65 million budget, Eyes Wide Shut was a decent-sized hit, ultimately earning $162 million worldwide, with $55.6 million of that coming from the domestic front. Time has been much kinder to Eyes Wide Shut, with many contemporary reviews calling it one of Kubrick's best. Since the director passed away days after delivering his final cut, some have questioned if the end result was his complete vision, but Kidman believes the finished product was what Kubrick wanted. "Oh, yeah. He had been editing it for 18 months. It wasn't like he didn't have enough time. He was very happy with it. For him to show it to us, that is huge, if you know Stanley. And the Warner people were there. He wasn't going back to the drawing board. Eyes Wide Shut can currently be watched for free on Pluto TV and can be rented on digital platforms like YouTube and Prime Video.